Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Fana self-sabotaging his mental health playing Destiny 2 PvP. We're gonna try it once again. I mean, at this rate, I'm gonna be in the Arkham Asylum right next to freaking Joker. All jokes aside, yo, what's good with you guys? My name is Fana and welcome back to another video, man. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. I do a lot of cut commentary and goofy gameplay, so feel free to stick around, subscribe to the channel, and join the shenanigans. Alright, now here's the thing, right? I heard that Austringer is one of the best hand cannons for somebody to use on controller, right? You know, just from a stat wise, from the perk combination. Now, I don't think in the video that the dude that, I had saw him making, it revolved around Zen Moment, but I don't know if this perk column right here had something like Eye of the Storm or something. But just for video's sake and for those of you who care, I use small bore ricochet rounds with snapshots and Zen Moment. Now, I'm kind of weird. I'm one of those people, I don't necessarily run range masterworks all the time. It depends on the gun. When it comes to hand cannons, I tend to kind of lean more towards the stability option, especially on controller. Now, don't get me wrong, I play on M&K, here and there, but I consistently more so play on roller for the most part, especially when I'm doing my videos. But me personally, when it comes to my gameplay and my gun skill and what I can utilize for me to consistently win fights, I will always run with just having solid stability on my gun. I value being consistent over having good range, because I can have the most range on the gun in the world, but if I can't consistently land my shots through flinch, it's not really worth it for me. Like right there, if I didn't really have decent stability. Now, most of my guns, I really don't, run with terrible stability all the time. 88 is absolutely overkill. Let me just go ahead and just point that out. You don't need 88 stability. Okay, I'm being extra as I don't know what. Now, I will say, when I go from a hand cannon that has a high stability stat and I switch to something like, let's say, I don't know, like Thorn or Ace of Spades or like Rose or something that doesn't have the same high stability, it does kind of throw my recoil timing off. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a mental thing, honestly. Anyways, I'm curious though, what do you prefer to build into whenever you guys are building a hand cannon or any kind of weapon? Do you prioritize range, stability, reload? If you're okay, first of all, if you're a reload enthusiast on a freaking hand cannon that isn't a slow behind 120, I don't know what to tell you. I am curious though, in what instance are you guys building into reload speed on any gun? Where it's a hand cannon, auto rifle, pulse rifle, I don't care. What instance are you building into reload speed? I mean, you gotta think, I never really build into reload speed, at least on my crafted weapons. I'll never really use a reload speed masterwork on them. Because there's so many items in the game that help with reload. Like hunters, we have a dodge that comes back pretty quick. Warlocks have an item that you can have boots that literally reload your gun for you. But yeah, my biggest max source will definitely go stability, range. Oh yeah, definitely handling. Handling is also important, but I prioritize handling more so on shotguns for the most part. If I have a really just slow pulling shotgun, then aggressive frames, then I'll definitely prioritize that handling. But shotguns are weird because you also need a certain range threshold also for your shotgun to be consistent. If you have a terribly ranged shotgun, it doesn't work. That's why shotguns that can roll with elemental capacitor are absolutely amazing. And as you can see, my team is we are getting destroyed. Yeah, we are collectively getting annihilated. I really don't know what to do here, to be completely honest. Yeah, but when it comes to the handling masterwork, definitely shotguns I prioritize. You really want a solid handling shotgun, but you want good handling anyway. Now, for the most part, if I do craft a weapon, or if I am going for a certain god roll of a weapon, I'm gonna have a certain handle amount in mind anyway, because to be honest, I don't think I'll ever exclusively put a handling masterwork on a hand cannon or an auto rifle or something. That's not really something I would want to build into specifically on those archetypes. Also, handling is just one of those things you can never really go wrong with, having a faster swap speed on a gun or a faster aim down sight speed. You can never really go wrong with that. Matter of fact, I'm genuinely curious. I really want to know the answer to this question. How many of you are actually going out your way to put adept reload masterworks on your gun? Especially in PvP more specifically. I'm genuinely curious. I think, one of the guns that or at least the archetype people would put some kind of reload masterwork into would be 120s, but at the same time, you can craft 120s and you can get rolls of 120s that just naturally have, good, reload speed. You know what? I take it back. You know what? SMGs, that's another archetype I could see myself, depending on, what the stat is, at base, without me putting a masterwork work on it. Let's say like I have like a really good Shioris, right? A Shioris that just has really good range and just like, you know, really good stability just off top, right? Having an SMG that I can reload like fast as I don't know what, but I guess it just depends on what you're build crafting. Like I said, that's the beauty of Destiny, just having like a lot of stuff that you can build in different combinations. You can really, you know, tailor your build to what you need. I used to be one of those people, I'm like, if it's not a range or stability masterwork, it's, you know, it's a bad roll, it's not good. Thing, you know, especially once I switched over to PC and I started kind of like, you know, really paying attention to like, you know, like stats of weapons, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I really don't need as much range as I'm thinking I need. Now, I'm not saying I'm walking out here like, you know, going with like the bare minimum range. I ain't saying that now. Oh yeah, on another note, yeah, a lot of nonsense going on with Bungie. So for those of you who haven't really kept up with it, I'm gonna keep it a little short because I really don't, you know, care to talk about news like this all the time. But Bungie has essentially, you know, laid off more of their staff again. At this point, if you really do the math for how many people they've actually like laid off and you do it like based on like percentage at the time, they've laid off like a ridiculous amount of people within like the past like 3 years, bro. And like I said, you know, I think I did a video, you know, saying like, you know, is Final Shape dead on arrival? And, you know, Final Shape, you know, it did what it was supposed to do. You know, it launched, and, you know, I think us as a community, you know, the D2 community, I think it was well received for the most part. I don't really see like too many people saying like they didn't really enjoy the DLC. It's just the fact of the matter is when it comes to like a business standpoint and a financial standpoint, you know, they came out with Lightfall and Lightfall wet the bed. I was one of the first people, you know, to say that, you know, Lightfall came out and I was utterly disappointed in it, right? I said it before, you know, you can't sit there as a company, right? You know, whether, you know, it's film, whether it's gaming, you can't sit there and drop duds, right? And then put all your, you know, your coins in one little basket, and, you know, and that's what essentially, like, you know, what happened with Bungie. You know, they dropped duds, you know, they got bought by Sony, a bunch of nonsense happened once they got bought by Sony when it came to like money management and whatever, having a high burn rate. It was just like a lot of background nonsense going on when it came with the finances, when it came to the decision making on how they like handle and manage the actual game, when it came from, you know, PvE content, seasonal content, PvP content. It was just like a lot of like mismanagement that was going on, and it just like left like a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, you know, when it came to like how Bungie just handled their game overall. And like I live with this delusion in my head that like, you know, maybe if I keep using Tether I'll get better with it, but every time I use it, like I don't get better. There's no, like, I'm not getting better with the super. If anything, I'm actually getting worse with the super. Like, I don't know how you can possibly get worse at something, you know, the way I do. I got completely off topic though. Yeah, but with the whole Bungie situation, them laying off people, you know, it's not the best or like the, you know, the greatest of looks, you know, when you're someone that's trying to support a company, because they've done this before. They laid off people, right? But you have to also understand, like, you know, when they hired a bunch of people on back in 2020, you know, when everybody was kind of inside, so they had like a lot more influx of money coming to video games. You hire a bunch of people, but, you know, that's where like the financial literacy comes in, and that's like the problem that, you know, a lot of like, you know, movie companies have had and like gaming companies have had, because they saw like a spike in an influx of money and attention coming to their games. But you have to understand it was within context, you know. Like I said, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, the layoffs are happening like it was well deserved, you know. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be insensitive or nothing like that. That's not what I'm getting at, you know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not surprised that this has happened again, considering the track record and what's been going on with them behind the scenes. You know, it sucks to see, you know, certain people who have been, you know, with Bungie, with Destiny 2 from, you know, the start, seeing them leave, seeing them being let go. You know, it sucks as far as like, you know, it goes for the game moving forward or anything like, you know, Bungie makes going forward. It doesn't leave like the greatest taste in your mouth. Also, I know they're working on Marathon, but with this going on, you cut 17%, you know, of your staff, and before you already cut a big portion of your staff already. If you really calculate it, you know, the numbers and whatever, I think they said it was like 220 people or something like that got let go. That's a lot of people. And then I saw something about Destiny 3 was never, you know, happening, or Destiny 3 isn't happening, which again, that's another thing I'm not that surprised about, because honestly, if they were going to do a Destiny 3, I feel like they would have said something by now, or we would have had some kind of idea of it, unless they pull something out their butt. Couple of announcements before I let you guys go, man. I do appreciate you guys for staying to the end of the video. Check this out. I do plan on streaming a little bit more. I'm probably going to do a poll for you guys on what platform you would rather me stream on, you know, what's easier for you to kind of engage with me on. I have a Twitch account that I'm affiliated on, and of course, you know, I got the YouTube account, like, you know, right here, where you can just come and you can actually, like, you know, watch the live streams, you know, after the fact, a lot easier. Anyways, let me know down below. As always, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go check out some other content I got here on the channel, man.